All right, welcome to this explainer where we dive headfirst into the surreal, incredibly high-stakes story of the Knighthood arc. Today, we're going to unpack a narrative that just seamlessly blends gritty, visceral reality with absolute, unbounded cosmic fantasy. If you've ever wondered how to effectively execute character image designing or build a world that is equal parts terrifying and totally absurd, well, you are definitely in the right place. We're going to break down this amazing storytelling presentation, starting with a heavily burdened teenage boy named Accost. So let's just jump right into this bizarre descent, okay? Picture this for a second. Akash is 14 years old, but honestly, he carries the weight of a 40-year-old man. He's walking through a noisy city street, clutching this blue gift box for his family, and he's entirely consumed by his duties. The world around him is loud, it's chaotic, and it's completely indifferent to him. And then out of nowhere, a speeding motorcycle runs a red light. The impact is absolutely brutal. The blue gift box spins into the air like confetti, and complete darkness takes over. But see, this isn't the end. It's actually the catalyst that rips him away from his hyper-responsible life and directly drafts him into a multi-dimensional conflict. To really wrap our heads around Akash's grounded emotional core in the middle of this absurd world, we just have to look at his subconscious. Right before the accident, his best friend Neil is describing this massive IMAX-level cinematic dream about flying on a golden eagle that literally sneezes and turns into buttered popcorn. I mean, it's wild, it's hilarious, it's exactly the kind of thing a kid should be dreaming about, right? But Accost? His subconscious is literally just him working a 9-to-5. He dreams of laying bricks to build a house with a ground-floor garden so his grandmother doesn't have to climb stairs. He is the ultimate anchor of reality, and he is about to be thrown into a universe of pure, unadulterated imagination. And guys, this descent into madness happens at a breakneck pace. We're tracking Akaz's incredibly rapid transition from a tragic street accident into the sprawling bioluminescent afterlife. Within seconds of the crash, the asphalt vanishes. Within minutes, he is gasping for air in a vast ocean of glowing violet liquid thought, just surrounded by floating glass bubbles that actually contain other people's dreams. Hours later, he's standing inside the Grand Registration, which is this colossal, physics-defying spire, and within a single day, he steps through a vortex gate into Warhead, a ruthless, neon-soaked jungle of black metal and skyscrapers. It is a masterclass in visual storytelling, escalating the stakes with literally every passing moment. Then we meet the mastermind, and he establishes the brutal rules of this universe right away. Visually, the mastermind is this massive figure, stuffed into a tuxedo made entirely of shifting smoke, and he's sitting behind a desk in a hall of infinite paperwork. He looks at Accost and just completely shatters any hope of a quick return home, telling him that dreams are for the sleepers, and because he's in a coma, he is now a resident. At this moment, Accost realizes he hasn't just bumped his head. His physical body is utterly broken back on Earth. Here's the deal, and this is a crucial point. Accost isn't just taking a nap. He is officially designated as a coma resident named 1101, or the Dream Boy. This right here is the foundational mechanic of this world building. Normal people who dream at night, they are just sleepers. Basically, they're tourists. They pop in, take a look around, and eventually their alarm clocks pull them back to safety. But coma residents are trapped. They provide the very foundation of this entire reality because, frankly, they have nowhere else to go. Now, the mastermind doesn't just leave him hanging. He equips Accost with two distinct identities, setting up a highly dangerous double game right from the start. On the surface, Accost gets a standard resident ID that ties him to a menial, scamming job at a place called Joshua's Bar over in the terrifying capital city of Warhead. But secretly, the mastermind slips him a second card. It's a hidden lifeline for an illegal organization known as the Destiny Society. He warns Accost that the ruling powers, the five families, will absolutely try to crush him, and this secret card is quite literally his only real chance at survival. And just when you think it can't get any weirder, we get a warning from a frantic character called the Transporter, who, by the way, carries a screaming sandwich. He warns Akabos that stepping onto the wrong island could literally turn you into dust. This is such a fantastic visual concept. He points to an island made of giant pink donuts that is actually pixelating and glitching out of existence. Why? Because the sleeper dreaming it is waking up. If you're standing on an exhausted place when the dreamer wakes up, you evaporate into cosmic dust. So you absolutely have to stay on the inhabited worlds, like the neon jungle of Warhead, which are permanent because they are anchored by the souls of the coma residents. All right, let's move into Section 1, Character Image Designing, the Sailor's Team. After a brutal bar fight where Akkas gets rescued, he's dragged into the shattered headquarters of a highly eclectic group. I want you to mentally picture this sailors team bickering in a ruined palace. When we talk about character image designing, this is peak creativity. You have the bot, a guy who literally operates with a square granite face and a metallic beard, running entirely on ruthless robotic protocol. Then there's the Solemn, consumed by an aggressive aura, wearing a jacket made of actual flickering fire. Contrast them with the Fantastic, who is perfectly serene and elegant amidst all this rubble, and the Rizman, a ridiculously handsome guy with bright green hair, balancing a crystal on his impossibly long legs just for comedic effect. And overseeing the whole shebang is our smoky tuxedo-wearing mastermind. It is a beautifully, wonderfully unbalanced roster.
But to survive this chaotic group and their upcoming mission, Acost desperately needs to learn the mechanics of power. Specifically, he needs to understand dream energy. You know, you can't just walk into a cosmic war zone with a stoic face and expect to make it out alive. Dream energy, or DE, is the ultimate currency here. It dictates how hard you can hit, how fast you can move, and ultimately whether you get deleted by the dream government or survive to see another cycle.
So how exactly does a total rookie like a Cashed level up in a realm this dangerous? Well, the mastermind breaks it down mathematically. First, you can harvest something called Dream Jam by sneaking into the fleeting 10-hour dreams of sleepers. Second, because DE operates on a time-based system, simply surviving and gaining experience naturally expands your energy reserves. But the third, and honestly the most potent way to harness dream energy, is by unlocking your ultimate innate supernatural ability. Now, let's talk about these supernatural abilities. They're called whistles, and they are fascinating because they directly tie a character's real-world psychology to their dream world power. For example, the Rizman was incredibly charming in life, so here his whistle grants him literal hypnotic attraction. The Solemn couldn't control his anger on Earth, so now his rage physically manifests as a heat whistle, literally burning his enemies. But since Acost carries the heavy ambition of a man, his whistle is yet to be revealed. That means, for now, he has to rely on pure, unadulterated physical combat. 14. That is the exact number of punches that exist in the dream world to manipulate dream energy in combat. Because Acost doesn't have his whistle yet, he has to rely entirely on this highly structured martial arts style power system. It's definitely not just about swinging your fists wildly in the dark. It's about utilizing dream energy to execute incredibly precise, devastating techniques. To put that into perspective, the Solemn is terrifying specifically because out of the 14 existing punches in the entire universe, he has already completely mastered 12 of them. Let's actually break down how this works. How does the most basic super punch function? We already saw the bot use this exact move to utterly shatter a thug's ribcage earlier. In a world made of dreams, bodies are fluid, right? They run on an internal fantasy. But when a super punch connects, it acts like a brutal system override. It violently drains the target's dream energy, completely collapsing their fantasy and forcing their body to turn solid and physical. Once they are solidified, they can't rely on dream logic to protect them anymore. The very next hit they take inflicts real, fatal damage, exactly like it would in the waking world. All right, moving on to Section 2, the Knighthood Attack Mission. So the whole crew, this ragtag Destiny Society, they decide to launch what is basically a suicide mission against the ruthless Knighthood soldiers. And it's all to find the ultimate goal that will let Akkas wake up. Knighthood Attack is this massive, heavily guarded estate controlled by the 5 families, swarming with guards who don't just arrest intruders, they permanently delete them. The Sailors team is going in to raid an autonomous warehouse because rumor has it that's where the data on Destiny is kept. Destiny is said to be the only force capable of granting Akkas his one profound wish, finally waking up from his coma. There's this incredible moment where they are standing on a balcony overlooking the neon Athlon River at dawn. The bot calculates a dismal 12.4% survival rate for a newbie and flat out asks Acoth if he feels fear. But Acoth just looks down at his hands. He thinks about his parents sitting out there in a hospital hallway. He grips his fake identity cards, and he replies, "I don't have time to be scared, bot. I have a house to build." He is completely unbothered by the cosmic scale of the danger because his real-world sense of responsibility is just so much stronger. And that brings us to the ultimate question as the Sailors team moves out. Will a boy with a man's face actually survive minute 1 of this cosmic war in a fortress of nightmares using only a beginner's punch? Or will his dream of home just become cosmic dust? Can raw, stoic ambition overcome a deeply entrenched regime, or is the dream boy destined to be deleted? The stakes are set, the incredible world is built, and honestly, the real journey is just beginning. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep questioning the narrative, and I will catch you on the next deep dive.